Good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Breakfast with Loui. That's right, folks. This is where Loui makes breakfast, but not all the time. Because sometimes I repeat the same thing, and I don't want to keep, because that's what I make, folks. I make what I make. I'm not like planning ahead to make something so I can film it, although I should probably find some other recipe I can make, something else, so that I can make it and not repeating myself. But it is what it is. This is Breakfast with Loui. Nothing said, no, don't say that. Nothing says that I have to make a breakfast. There's nothing that says that. So today I just repeated myself and I made some French toast, and I'm going to give these to Paigey. Here you go, Paigey.
Thank you.
All right, enjoy it. And sometimes we're just going to talk about stuff. I have things on my mind. I'm not just a van dweller. Some people like to label that, your lifestyle of van dweller. I don't see myself as that. The van is my home. It's something that I bought because I needed a place, I needed a shelter, basically. I needed a home. I don't have sticks and bricks and mortar and concrete home. I have a steel home on wheels, so I'm not houseless. I'm just home. I'm not homeless. I'm just houseless, and this is my home on wheels. So I don't see the label that people put on things. I even see in the comments people asking about the lifestyle. People think this is glamorous, and another thing is that I don't watch. One second. Before it goes cold, I might as well finish it. I don't watch a lot of van channels. I probably should hold this, just like, it's probably cooler if I hold it. Anyway, I don't watch a lot of van channels because I'm living it, but and I don't have time. I'm doing my own thing, my own life, and I don't have time to watch. But a lot of stuff comes on my YouTube feed. Probably happens to you as well. It happens to everybody. So if I go to YouTube and then I go to home, then there's a lot of videos that are recommended, and about everything, all kinds of subjects, and sometimes something comes across interesting and I watch it, and a lot of van channels show up there, and mostly young kids and living the lifestyle and this and that, and because people think this is like, yeah, let's live the lifestyle. Let's just travel around and be hippie, and then they forget, you need money for those things. Or if you are older and you've already worked and you saved, then you have money for that. Or if something happens to you and you are put in a situation where you have to live in a van or a car or an RV or whatever, or motorcycle or a tent or whatever under a bridge, you're just gonna have to do it. Like in my case, I felt like I was like between a rock and a hard place, and I didn't know if I could afford to even pay for an apartment. So I didn't want to risk getting an apartment and not be able to afford the apartment. That's why after looking into different options, I decided, I'm going to buy a van. And I was approved for a loan for a van. and I was not approved for a loan for a small house for the same amount of money. I was not approved for that because I had to file for bankruptcy. I was put in a tough situation when I got separated. I had a mortgage. I had credit card debt that I put in the cards so I could use it on a house. And that credit card debt was something that I had, but I was going to pay for it. It was stuff that was put on cards that had no interest for 2 years or a year or 3 years. And I was like, this is like almost like buying something with cash. There's no interest. I know that by the time the interest is due in 1 or 3 years or whatever, this will be paid for. And of course, then I never had a chance to do that. My credit was perfect. I always paid everything on time, never owed anything. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a situation where I had nothing, and I couldn't even get a $30,000 mortgage to buy a little house. So, but thank God I was approved for a van. I was like, go figure. So I was approved for a van, and I bought a van. If I wasn't approved to buy a van, I probably would have stayed in my car. I had a car at the time, and I can do it in a car. You just do whatever you have to do. So this is not like a lifestyle. To me, it's not a lifestyle. To me, it's just my life. It's just living my life. If I had a little house or a big house or whatever, I would go to work and go to my house and be happy. And I have a van, so I go to work, come to my van, and I'm happy. Or I travel around and I live in my van, and now I have a motorcycle, so I can park the van and go for a ride. So it's not a lifestyle, but I see a lot of that stuff come through my feed, and it's something that people think it's a lifestyle, and then they find out that they need money, and then or they have some money and then they spend it. And then they're not making more, and then they forget, one day they're going to get older, and then they find themselves 60, 70 with no money coming in. They didn't work, so they didn't put money into the Social Security account, if the money is still going to be there when you retire. And you didn't put money into a 401k if you're working for a company that puts money in there. And you're not going to have anything, you're going to find yourself working later in life when you didn't have to. So that's just the way it is. And another thing I wanted to talk about that's related to traveling and living in a van, it's the gas prices are one of them. Gas prices are really high. I guess some people in this country, they weren't happy with $2 a gallon gas, so they go, let's go for broke. We like $10 a gallon gas. Yes. So that's what happens. Some people like that. And then actually, when it actually happens, they're shocked. They're like, whoa, I didn't think this was actually going to happen, because now it's affecting me. Well, what did you expect? That it was just going to affect the other guys, not you, but this is just it's what happens when you shut everything down. We were happily tapping into our own oil, independent from other countries, basically, and then things get shut down, and then that's what happens. Your prices go up, folks. If you are one of those that don't understand the correlation between two events, let me give you an example. If I punch you in the nose really hard, your nose is going to bleed. So when you find your nose bleeding, what's the correlation? My knuckles hit your nose, and now you are bleeding. That's a correlation, folks. When you lean a certain way and you go a certain direction, then things happened, and now we are seeing the result of the way some of you went. You went this way, and now you're paying through the roof. And gas can still go up more. So if gas goes up more, then a lot of us, like me, I'm not going to stay. Eventually, I have to go to work, but I'm not going to stay in the Northeast for the winter. I will be traveling around, but maybe just not traveling as much or not moving around as much. I'll probably just go to Arizona and find a spot there. There's spots in Arizona that you can stay unlimited. There's no 14-day limit. They don't enforce anything. So I know a few of those spots. I can go there and be happy for a few months, and I can still ride my motorcycle to the store, get supplies. I'll be perfectly happy. I got the hiccups, and yeah, and now even places like California have banned the gas generators. So if you have a gas generator in an RV or whatever, you can't run those gas generators in California anymore. So I guess if you have one that runs on propane, you're probably okay. If it's gas, no. I don't know how that's going to work. I should ask somebody, but I don't know how that's going to work for, let's say, construction companies, because I work in construction, and a lot of the times we need generators. The guys that I work with, they need to turn on a generator to power tools and stuff, power electrical jackhammers, power saws, and all kinds of tools. And if you can't run a generator and you are a construction company, what are you going to do? And I just heard just recently, I was browsing, one of those videos that just shows up on my phone, on my YouTube feed, about this cop. I forget where the cop was, but he was talking about how California is banning or has banned. I mean, this has not, I haven't confirmed the report. I don't know if it's true, but I just saw it yesterday or whatever it was. And he was saying that California is banning or is going to ban individual truckers, so owner operators. So if you are an owner operator of a truck in California, you're going to be banned. So it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. California is a beautiful state, absolutely beautiful, stunning state. I would love to live there. I love to visit California, but people are really like stupid. I mean, there's like no other word. They're like morons, stupid morons. It makes no sense. They just keep shooting themselves in the foot. They're going to ban trucks. Where the hell do they expect all the food to come from? I mean, the food is trucked in everywhere. You people that vote for these morons, you're going to find yourselves without any food one of these days. Sorry, folks. You're not going to find any food in the shelves. You're not going to find your essential needs. Where do you think all that stuff comes from? That's really stupid moronic. You're shooting yourselves in the foot. It's like, everything else, like with the electrical car. I mean, it's fine. If you want an electrical car, it's all fine and good, but, don't force it upon everybody else. Where do you think the fuel for the car comes from? Yeah, you plug it in, but where do you think that electricity comes from? It's thin air? Comes from the thin air? Magically, it comes from coal or some other fossil fuel that's being burned somewhere else. What happens when they have outages and you can't plug in your car, or the car now, everything is computerized, or when they tell you, sorry, you already used up enough miles on your car, you can't plug it in anymore, or when they shut things down because they actually have no power, you know, because everything is being banned. It's just it never ends, and my rant would never end either, folks, but I have to get out of the van, go do some walkies, and clean up my coffee stuff, and I still have to clean this up, and that's it, folks. I will see you again next time for another Breakfast with Loui. Even if I don't make any breakfast, I just talk about breakfast. Yeah, that's what I talked about. We just talk about breakfast, folks.